Now, as we discussed that we can differentiate colloids depending upon three factors into different categories. The one being we have already discussed, that is depending upon the physical states of dispersion phase and dispersion medium. We classified various solid, liquid as sols, aerosols, gels and emulsions like, right. So, now we are up to the second classification. So, now we are going to classify colloids depending upon the interaction between the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. That suppose if I say that this is my flask and this is my dispersion medium, right, and in this I get to see my particles suspended, right. So, this is my dispersion phase. So, whether they have this thing, you can say they have affinity for each other or they do not have affinity for each other, or in a simple language I can say that do they love each other or do they hate each other. So, depending upon that we classify the colloids into two categories. One is the lyophilic and other is the lyophobic. Now, as the name suggests, philic means love, right. So, lyophilic means that they have love for each other. That means the particles which are suspended, they have love for their dispersion medium. Or you can say they attract their dispersion medium. And the other one is the lyophobic. Phobia means hate, repelling, right. So, that means here in lyophobic, the dispersed phase and dispersion medium do not have any affinity for each other, or we can say they repel each other, or we can say they just hate each other, right. So, this is what is lyophilic and lyophobic. Now, what happens when we talk about lyophilic, you must have seen many substances like gum, gelatins, starch. So, how do they look like? They are actually, you can say they look like means they are just the particles are just stick to each other. We just see that the particles are just stick to the dispersion medium. That is why they are very viscous, right. So, why they stick to each other? They stick to each other because they love each other, they like to be in contact with each other, and they get into so much contact that you get to see such a viscous substance, right. So, that means lyophilic colloids are those which you can say that they have affinity for each other, they just cling to each other with so strongly that they just start behaving as a one phase, right. Then you know that if you want to separate that lyophilic, if I want to separate gum into like dispersion phase and dispersion medium separate from the gum, I can separate it, right, and even they can be separated by just a simple process, that is evaporation. But if I have separated the components dispersed phase and dispersion medium into two categories, and you know that if I will just mix them, no any other external factor is required, they will randomly mix with each other to form a colloid again. So, that means they can be separated easily, and likewise they can be recreated easily, right. As I told you, I just evaporated it and we just get to have dispersed phase and dispersion medium that separated, right. But as soon as we mix them, no any external factor is required, they again form the colloid again. So, that means it is easy to form the lyophilic colloid, and even we can separate it. So, this is what we have lyophilic. Now, when I talk about lyophobic, so as I told you, they do not love each other, they do not have any attraction tendency, or you can say they do not have affinity for each other. And if any two substances do not have affinity for each other, then you know that it is very difficult to mix them up, it is very difficult actually, right. So, that means if you will keep that dispersion medium and dispersed phase together, they will not form the colloid. But if you will apply certain factor, a certain specific factor, then that factor may force them to stick to each other. That factor may force them to stick with each other and lead to the formation of colloid. Then if you apply certain factor, like even a small factor, that is heating or passing electric current or any other factor, you know that can actually disturb that colloid. It can actually separate the dispersed phase and dispersion medium, as we all know that they do not have affinity for each other. And if two components do not have affinity for each other and you are mixing them forcibly, then any factor may just disturb them and any factor can separate them, right. So, this is what we have the lyophobic colloids. Mainly the metals and the metal sulfides, they form the lyophobic colloids. Now, here we are in a position to discuss the difference between them. So see, what is lyophilic? As I told you, they have great affinity for each other, they have love for each other, they have attracting tendency towards each other. But in contrast, when we see about lyophobic, they have almost no affinity for each other. They actually hate each other, or they don't have any affinity to cling to each other. And if we talk about their formation, so as I told you that they can be easily separated and they can be easily recreated. And like if we want to separate it, we can generally apply a phenomena that is an evaporation, a basic phenomena, and we'll get the dispersed phase and dispersion medium separated. But as soon as we'll mix them up, they will again form the colloid again. So that means they can easily form the colloid, and even they can be easily separated. Likewise, if we talk about lyophobic, they are not formed they do not attract each other with their own choice, but forcibly we can make them to, you can say, force them to come to each other to form, in order to form a colloid, lyophobic colloid. But when we talk about like any factor, if we apply any small factor, can just disturb their balance and can just disturb can separate the dispersion phase and the dispersion medium. And if you will then again mix them up, they are not going to form the colloid again. You have to apply certain factors, special factors again, or you can have to force them in order to just make them cling to each other again. So if we talk about viscosity, so as I told you, they have the attracting capacity. So that means they are just getting attracted so much that they generally form a one phase. That is why we get to see they are highly viscous. And when we talk about the viscosity, their viscosity is too high as compared to the dispersion medium, because those particles just get mixed into the dispersion medium so much that they just unite to form a single phase. We are not able to see a dispersion medium and dispersion phase separately. And when we talk about lyophobic, it doesn't happen in this case, because as I told you, they don't have that kind of attracting capacity. So their viscosity is same as the dispersion medium, that's it. And examples I have for you is gum, starch, gelatin, all those substances which appear to be highly viscous, they all fall under the category of lyophilic colloids. And lyophobic are the metals and the metal sulfides, like arsenic sulfide, you can say ferric hydroxide. So there are many more examples which are lyophobic colloids. So this is our second classification, depending upon the interaction between the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium. So if somebody is going to ask you that how you will classify according to the interaction, you are just going to classify into two categories, that is the love for the solvent, that is the lyophilic, hate for the solvent, hate feeling for the solvent, that is the lyophobic.